My wife's secret life unraveled when her best friend sent me a USB drive. I never thought a simple USB drive in my mailbox would destroy my 12-year marriage, but here I am, telling you how my entire life changed in just 72 hours. Let me start by introducing myself. I'm Devante, a 38-year-old network engineer who thought he had the perfect life. My wife Thea is, or I should say was, a travel nurse, and we lived in a beautiful home in Austin, Texas, with our golden retriever, Butch. The morning everything changed was like any other morning, just our normal routine. I was working from home as usual when I heard the mail truck. Among the usual bills and junk mail was a small padded envelope with no return address. Inside was a USB drive and a handwritten note that said, "Your wife isn't who you think she is. I'm sorry." Now, being in tech, I'm usually cautious about unknown USB drives, but something about that note made my stomach form in knots. After scanning it for viruses, I plugged it in. What I found made me physically sick. The drive contained hundreds of photos, text message screenshots, and even video clips. They showed Thea with her best friend's husband, Knox, in various locations over the past 3 years. But it wasn't just an affair, it was an entire secret life. You see, Thea's job as a travel nurse meant she was gone for weeks at a time. I always supported her career, even when it meant spending holidays apart. What I didn't know was that half of these assignments were fake. She and Knox had been meeting up in different cities, Nashville, New Orleans, Charleston, creating their own little world while their spouses sat at home, clueless. The most gut-wrenching part? The photos showed them in places I recognized, restaurants where Thea had brought me souvenirs from her supposed work trips. They even took pictures in front of landmarks I'd always wanted to visit with her, but she'd claimed she was too busy working to explore. I spent the next few hours going through everything. The USB drive had been sent by Knox's wife, Luna, who had discovered everything through the iPad they shared. She'd been gathering evidence for months before sending it to me. But here's where it gets even crazier. As I dug deeper into the files, I found something that made me mad as hell. In their text messages, Thea and Knox had been planning to leave us. They had a joint bank account, which explained why our savings seemed lower than it should be, and it even put a down payment on a house in San Antonio. The worst part? My sister Sage knew about everything. She appeared in some of the photos, having dinner with Thea and Knox at a popular steakhouse in Nashville. Text messages showed she'd been covering for them, telling me Thea was with her when she was really with Knox. My own sister, who I'd helped put through college, had betrayed me. I didn't confront Thea immediately. Instead, I called Luna, the sender of the USB drive. We met at a park in Austin, and she told me everything she knew. She discovered the affair when Knox's Apple Watch kept getting messages from Thea late at night. She'd stayed quiet, gathering evidence while planning her exit strategy. That night, when Thea came home, I acted normal. We ate dinner, walked Butch around our neighborhood, watched TV, and she told me about her exhausting shift at the hospital. Every word out of her mouth was a lie, and I sat there, watching her perform like nothing was wrong. The next morning, I set my plan in motion. I transferred my portion of our savings to a new account, contacted a divorce lawyer, and set up cameras in our house. Even though Luna did everything for me, I still wanted more proof for myself. If she was going to lie, I wanted to catch every moment of it. Then I waited for the perfect moment to confront her. It came 3 days later, during a dinner party we were hosting. Present were my sister Sage, Knox, and Luna, and 2 other couples from our friend group. During dinner, Luna started talking about travel nursing, asking Thea about her recent assignment in New Orleans. Thea launched into a detailed story about a difficult patient and long hours. That's when I connected my phone to our TV and started playing the videos from the USB drive. The room went silent. The video showed Thea and Knox at Café Du Monde in New Orleans during the exact date she claimed to be working at the hospital. The color drained from her face. Knox dropped his fork. My sister Sage started to get up, but I told her to sit down. I think it's time we all heard the truth. What followed was chaos. Thea tried to claim the videos were old, then tried to blame me for being emotionally distant. Knox attempted to apologize to Luna, who threw her wine in his face. My sister Sage broke down crying, saying she only kept quiet because Thea threatened to reveal some secret about her past. The other couple sat there, witnesses to the complete implosion of 2 marriages and several relationships. In the aftermath, everything changed. Thea moved out that night, staying with Sage in her Houston apartment. Luna filed for divorce the next day, and it turned out she'd been documenting everything. She got full custody of their kids and most of their assets. The story spread through our social circle like wildfire. Some mutual friends took Thea's side, claiming I'd humiliated her unnecessarily. Others supported me, saying she deserved the public exposure. But here's the twist that no one saw coming. 6 months later, Thea and Knox broke up. She tried to come back, crying about how she'd made the biggest mistake of her life. She sent letters, emails, and even had family members call me. But by then, I'd already moved on. Luna and I kept in touch, supporting each other through our divorces. We were not romantic. We both needed time to heal, but we understood each other's pain in a way no one else could. Today, 2 years later, I'm in a much better place. Butch and I moved to a smaller house in the hill country. I started my own networking company, and it's doing well. My sister Sage still tries to reach out from Houston, but some betrayals can't be forgiven. The USB drive sits in my desk drawer as a reminder that sometimes the life you think you have is just an illusion. But it also reminds me that the truth, no matter how painful, sets you free. Last week, I heard Thea got engaged to someone new in Charleston. I hope, for his sake, she's learned to be honest. As for me, I finally booked that trip to all the places she visited with Knox: Nashville, New Orleans, Charleston. But this time, I'm making my own memories, and every single one of them is real. But that's not where this story ends. What happened in the following years showed me just how deep the deception really went. About 6 months after our divorce was finalized, I received an unexpected call from Knox's teenage daughter, Willow. She was crying, saying she needed to tell me something that had been eating at her. Turns out she had known about her dad and Thea's affair for over a year. She'd found receipts for jewelry her dad had bought, jewelry I'd never seen Thea wear. Willow had kept quiet out of fear of destroying her family, but the guilt had become too much. The jewelry revelation led me down another rabbit hole. I started going through old credit card statements more carefully. That's when I discovered Thea had opened 3 secret credit cards in my name. She'd racked up over $18,300 in debt, mostly on electronics, jewelry, and restaurants in cities she claimed to be working in. My perfect credit score tanked, and I spent the next year fighting with credit card companies to prove identity theft. Meanwhile, Luna's divorce from Knox revealed even more shocking details. Knox had been stashing money away to fund his affair with Thea. Now, Luna is suing him for that. Don't know if she will get any of that money because he was taking money from their checking account. My sister Sage's involvement turned out to be more complicated than I initially thought. After months of no contact, she showed up at my door one rainy evening, clutching a manila envelope. Inside were dozens of screenshots of conversations between her and Thea. Yes, Sage had covered for their affair, but there was more to it. Thea had been blackmailing her with information about Sage's own past, specifically an incident from college involving prescription drug theft. Thea had threatened to report her to the nursing board if she didn't help cover the affair. I should have chosen my brother over my career, Sage said that night, tears streaming down her face. But I was scared, and I'm so sorry, Devante. We are slowly rebuilding our relationship, but trust comes in small steps. The ripple effects in our social circle were fascinating. Remember those friends who initially sided with Thea? Well, karma has a way of revealing truth. Two couples who had defended her actions ended up having their own marriages implode when it came out that they'd known about other affairs in our friend group. Our little dinner party scandal had apparently opened a Pandora's box of infidelity in our social circle. Butch, my loyal golden retriever, turned out to be my greatest comfort through all of this. During my darkest days, when I could barely get out of bed, he would nudge me awake, insisting on our morning walks. Those walks became my therapy. We'd explore new trails in the hill country, and slowly, I started feeling human again. It was during one of these walks that I met Claire, a veterinarian who had recently opened a practice in the area. Claire was different from anyone I'd ever met. Our relationship developed slowly, built on honesty and transparent communication. She understood my trust issues and never pushed for more than I could give. When I finally told her the whole story, she shared her own experience with betrayal. Her ex-husband had hidden a gambling addiction that nearly bankrupted them. But here's where the story takes another unexpected turn. Last year, I received an anonymous email containing phone surveillance footage from a hotel in Nashville. The timestamp showed dates from 3 years before Thea's affair with Knox began. In the footage, Thea was with another man, someone I recognized as her former supervisor from the hospital. This wasn't just a one-time indiscretion. It was a pattern of behavior that had started long before Knox. I forwarded the footage to Luna, wondering if she wanted to use it in her ongoing legal battles with Knox. Her response surprised me. She had received similar evidence about Knox's past infidelities, but had chosen not to use it. "We can't change the past," she wrote, "but we can choose how much power we give it over our future." Those words stuck with me. I realized I'd spent enough time being the victim of Thea's deception. It was time to reclaim my narrative. Last month, I learned that Thea's engagement to the Charleston guy had fallen through after he discovered she was still in contact with Knox. Claire and I are getting married next spring. We're having a small ceremony in the hill country with Butch as our ring bearer. Luna will be there. She's become one of my closest friends, and she's bringing her new partner, a kind-hearted teacher who treats her kids like his own. Sage will be there too, slowly earning back her place in my life. The USB drive that started this whole journey, I finally deleted its contents last week. I don't need those reminders anymore. The truth is, while betrayal can break you, it's what you build from the pieces that matter. My life isn't perfect now, but it's real, and that's worth more than any beautiful lie. Sometimes I think about that morning when I found the USB drive in my mailbox. One small package that changed everything. But here's what I've learned. It's not the discovery of betrayal that defines you, it's how you rise above it. As for Butch, he's getting older now, but he still insists on our morning walks. Every step we take together reminds me that loyalty does exist. Sometimes it just comes with 4 legs and a wagging tail. To anyone reading this who suspects something isn't right in their relationship, trust your instincts. Let me repeat this. Always, always trust your instincts.